Ma'am.
All right. So we are going to start with question 2. So it is saying OP is same as OQ, or if they will not mention this, so when they are saying it's quad of a circle or quarter of a circle, so we know that these both are basically radius of that circle. You know that O is the center of the circle, and if we connect O with any of the point of the circle, that is called radius. So if it is not even mentioned in the question, we will use this fact that these are both radius of the circle, and we will equate it. Later on, probably they will not say this, but we will use this fact, right? So I'm going to draw this on the whiteboard, and then we will solve it. So it's POQ. So this is the quad of a circle, POQ, right? And the radius is 4.3 centimeter. So we need to find out area as well as circumference. So first of all, so now because it's not a complete circle, so we will adjust the formulas accordingly, right? So what is the formula of area of a circle? Anyone? What is area of a circle?
Pi r
I R
square.
square.
Pi r square. Very good. So because it's a quarter of a circle, so this time the area is just simply divide it with 4. Pi r square divided by 4. So this is the area, right? So now I can just put the values because I know what is r. So I will say pi into 4.3 whole square divided by 4. So I'm not putting the value of pi because I don't have to use this area anywhere, because I will keep pi in the answer so that my calculations are easy. So now I can just find out the square of 43. So just because the calculator is not allowed, so you need to be very careful while doing the calculations, right? So don't do any extra calculation. Save your time during the paper as well. So 3 3s are 9, 4 3s are 12, and this is also 129. So the answer is 9, 11, 4, 14, 19. Now where the decimal will go? Where the decimal will go? 4.3 whole square.
नीचे जाएगा
Sorry?
मैम
After?
नीचे जाएगा डिनोमिनेटर है
No, where the decimal will go? Decimal will come here. ठीक है? So it is 14.14.19 divided by 4. I am putting this pi on the side because इसको हम answer में as it is ले लेंगे. ठीक है? We will put pi in the answer. So now I will just divide 14.19, 14.19 with 4. ठीक है? So 4 3s are 12. Now this is 2. Now I need to bring this 1 down, but there is a decimal before that. So put the decimal in the answer, right? So this is 21. 4 5s are 20. And then it is 19. So 4 4s are 16. So it's 3.54 pi, right? So we are not going to do an extra calculation where we will multiply 3.54 with 3.14. So there is no need to for that. So unit would be centimeters square. So without calculator, this is completely fine if you don't use pi in the question. Okay, so this is your decision, like you want to put the pi in the question and you want to solve it completely, or you can write down the answer like this. Okay, there is no harm in that. So now comes the uh, circumference. So now while adjusting the formula for circle, the difficult part is circumference, or this is the tricky part, because when we find out area, so if it is a semicircle, we will just say pi r square by 2. If it is quarter of a circle, so we will say pi r square by 4. But the circumference changes with the change in the shape. So what is circumference of this particular shape? So circumference is sum of all the sides, right? So there are 3 sides. And what are those 3 sides? If I write it down like this, okay, circumference of this quarter is basically OP plus OQ, which are the 2 radius, right? Plus PQ. So PQ is an arc. So we will use this terminology. So OP, इसको पढ़ते कैसे हैं? Line OP, line OQ, and arc PQ. ठीक है? So this is how we denote these in like in maths. Lines के लिए we use a straight line on the top, and for the curve we use this curve on the top. So now I know what is OP, right? 4.3. I know what is OQ. It is also 4.3. But what is PQ? It's a curve. So if you look closely, this curve is basically part of a bigger circle. So the total circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, right? So that 2 pi r is basically a whole circle. Is puri curve ka circumference. So now we are having only this part and this curve. So it means that this curved circumference is divided into 4 parts. So we will divide it with 4, right? So if you simplify, this is gone. So this is pi r by 2. I hope this is clear why it is like this. This is pi r by 2. This is 4.3 plus 4.3. Any question in this? Why PQ is pi r by 2? Anyone who cannot understand? Is it clear, bete? Right? Is it okay now? So now we will solve it. 4.3 plus 4.3 is 8.6. Now we will just put the values here because we need to add. अगर हम pi की value नहीं डालेंगे, so we cannot add these two numbers, right? Because pi will make this 8.6 an unlike term. ठीक है? Addition में we can only add the terms if they are like terms. So if I will not put the value of pi here, so I cannot add pi into 4.3. ठीक है? So इसका मतलब I need to use pi as well. So it's like 3.14 multiplied by 4.3 divided by 2. So you can just cancel this 2 with 3.14. So what is half of 314? 157, right? 31 is 15 and 14 is, so 15.7 is the half, right? So now what to do? Multiply
It will be
1.57.
1.57.
Sorry? Or
It will
1.5.
be
I was saying
1.57.
1.57. You're right. 1.57 with 4.3. So if you multiply 1.57, so I'm changing the color so that it's not mixed up. So if I multiply 1.57 with 4.3, yani 43. So multiply the numbers, adjust the decimals at the end. So 7 threes are 21, 2, 15, and 2, 17. So it's 4. Multiplied with 7 fours are 28, 2 carry, 5 fours are 20, 22. So 4, 6. Okay. So the answer is 1, 15, 7, 6. So now where the decimal will go in the answer?
Ma'am, it will be
Where the
6.751.
Very good. It will be 6.751 because this first number is 2 decimal place. The second is 1 decimal place. So the answer should be 3 decimal places, right? So this would be 6.751. So now you can simply add it 6.751. While adding the 2 decimals, we keep the decimal under the decimal. It would be 8.6. Padding of zeros and then do the operation. 1, 5, 13. So 14 and 15. So the answer is 15.351. Right? And because it is the length, circumference is a length, so the unit would be centimeter. Right? So I hope this is clear. ठीक है बेटे? So moving on to the next question. The next question is question number 3. Now the questions are getting tricky. So shaded region, the figure shows a circle with diameter BD, encased in a semicircle ABCD. So there is a smaller circle with the diameter BD, and there is a bigger circle, semicircle, which is encased outside, So if the circumference of the smaller circle is 31.4 centimeter, we need to determine two things: the radius of the semicircle and the area of the shaded region, right? So first of all, we need to observe this, that what is the relation between these two circles? If BD is diameter of this smaller circle, so this diameter is actually the radius of the bigger circle. Can you observe this? Okay, BD, which is the diameter of the smaller circle, this BD is basically radius of the bigger semicircle, right? So we will find out the diameter first, so then we will proceed further. Okay, so I'm going to use this again. So for the first part, we know that the area of the the circumference is 31.4. We know that circumference of smaller circle, this is given to you, is equal to 31.4 centimeter, right? So how we are going to do, because we need to find out the value. So we will say, okay, or we will assume that let x be the diameter. Let x be the diameter. Achha, why we are not um, assuming the radius? Because the diameter of the smaller circle is actually the radius of the bigger circle. So that's why we are assuming that let x be the diameter of smaller circle. Okay. So now we will find out x. So we will use the formula. Circumference is, now this, just think about this smaller circle. We know the circumference and we are assuming this. Okay. So circumference is 2 pi r, right? So if I put 2r, actually आपको पता है diameter is 2r. I say, you know that diameter is double of radius, right? So I will say, instead of 2r, I will write down pi x, because x is 2r in this situation. Okay, so now we will put the values. It is 31.4 is equal to 3.14 x. So right, so this will not happen again. I have seen someone is doing that. Okay, this will not happen again, right? So I have enabled all the mics also. Achha, now why I am using 3.14 instead of 22 by 7? Because I have seen that 31.4 and 3.14 is the same value, just there is a placement of decimal is different. So now to find x, I will divide this side, 31.4 divided by 3.14. Can anyone tell me what will be x? What is x? 31.4 divided by 3.14. So what is the answer of this division?
I think it will be 10.
It will be 10. Very good. So x is 10 centimeter, right? So this was the first part of the question. They ask you to find out the radius. So if diameter is 10 centimeter, what would be the radius of smaller circle? So radius of smaller circle would be
5.
radius will be 5 centimeter. This is the answer of first part. Now moving on to second part. In the second part, they're asking you to find out the area of shaded region. So for the area of shaded region, what we are going to do, we will find out the area of semicircle ABCD. Now we know the radius. What is the radius of this semicircle? It is 10 centimeter. We have just calculated. So this was observed earlier. Okay, the diameter of the smaller circle is basically the radius of this semicircle. So now when we will find out the area of the semicircle ABCD, so we will use R as 10 centimeter. Okay, so then we will find out the area of the smaller circle and we will use R as 5 centimeter. Then we will subtract the two values and we will get the answer. We will get the area of the shaded region, right? So now we are going to find out area of semicircle, ABCD. So if the area of circle is pi r square, what will be area of half of a circle?
Pi r square by 2.
Pi r square by 2. So now we know the values. We know that the radius is 10. So we will say 10 square divided by 2, right? So this is 100 divided by 2. So 100 pi divided by 2. So actually the answer is 50 pi. Because it is area, so it is centimeter square. Actually, this time I am not putting the value of pi because the other area will also be coming in pi. So they are like terms. So I can just subtract the 2 pi values, right? So what is the area of semicircle? It is 50 pi. So now what is the area of small circle? Area of small circle, because it is a complete circle, so area would be pi r square. Radius is 5, so we will say 5 square. So this is 25 pi centimeter square. Okay, keeping it in pi will make the calculations easy. Okay, so now what is area of shaded region? What is area of shaded region? It is 50 pi minus 25 pi. So you need to remember 8 class K. If one of this term, like right now it is 50 pi minus 25 pi, so they are like terms because dono mein pi hai. So we will say the answer is 25 pi, right? But sometimes if one of this number, just like in the previous question, is not having pi, so you cannot add them, right? So then you need to put the value of pi and change them both into the same uh, same form. Okay, so a simple number is not same as the number with pi. Okay, so this is your answer of second part. So because there is no further calculation, हमने area को कहीं use नहीं करना, so you can just write down the answer in form of pi. No need to calculate further, right? So any question in this? Anything you cannot understand? Is it clear? All right. So, right. So I hope it is clear. Very good. So moving on to the next question. So let me show you the question first. Today I will send you the questions also, so you might not be able to complete the work during the class because the question is already with me, so I'm not writing them. So I will share the questions also later on, right? So this is the question 4. Question 4 is the circular portions of the following figures are semicircles, right? Find the perimeter and area of each of the following figures. So we will do the first part first. So can anyone tell me what are the, like they are composite shapes. So what are the two shapes in the A part? What are the shapes in the A part?
Half circle and triangle.
Excellent. So it's a triangle and a semicircle. Half circle को हम क्या कहते हैं? Semicircle. So what about B part? Arshman, can you tell me what are the composite shapes in part B?
One bigger semicircle and two small semicircles.
Excellent. One bigger semicircle and two smaller semicircles. So now let's find out the area and perimeter of the first part. Okay, so I'm going to draw it also so that we have an idea. So there is a right angle triangle. Oh, so there is a right angle triangle again. It's just I need to use these values. That's why I want to make it. So the sides are 5 meter and this side is 3 meter. This is a 90 degree and there is a semicircle like this. So semicircle ka radius is given to you. The radius is 2 meters. So this is the situation. Okay. This is question number 4, question 4A part. Okay. So now we will find out the perimeter first. The perimeter is sum of all the 3 sides. Sum of all the outer sides. So how many sides are there? I can see this is one side. Okay. So this is the second side, the base. Okay. And this curved line is the third side, right? So I will simply add, if I name it as OA, B, let's say. So perimeter is OA, line OA plus line OB plus curve AB. ठीक है, एक line AB है, this is line AB and this is curve AB, right? So you need to like have that, you need to know the difference between the two. If I want to write down line AB, I will put a straight line on the top. If I want to write down curve AB, so then I will put a curve on the top, right? So now we will put the values. Now this I know OA is simply 3 meter. OB is 5 meter. What about curve AB? So what is curve AB in length? So just look at this. कि अगर ये curve AB एक semicircle है, which is a part of a circle, so the circumference or the perimeter of this complete circle is 2 pi r. So now because we are talking about half of this length, so we will simply divide it with 2, right? So the answer would
Pi r.
be pi r. So this is pi r, and this is 3 centimeter, 3 meter plus 5 meter plus pi r, right? So r is 2. So 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 2r, 2 pi. अब देखिए, this is the situation what I was talking about. I cannot add 8 plus 2 pi. मैं ये नहीं कह सकती 8 plus 2 pi is 10 pi. ठीक है? So 8 plus 2 pi is not 10 pi, right? 8 pi plus 2 pi होता तो फिर हम कहते this is 10 pi, right? So these are unlike terms. Pi is making this an unlike term, and unlike terms, cannot be added together, right? So you need to remember this. So it means that to find out the perimeter, I need to put the value of pi in the question now. Okay? So we will put the value of pi and we will see what is left. What is the value? Okay? So let's use 3.14. So 2 multiplied by 3.14. So double of 3.14 is 6.28, right? So 6.28. So now just find out the answer. So perimeter is 14.28 meters, right? So any question? Is it clear till this point? So now we are going to find out, all right. So now we are going to find out area. So this is a composite shape. So area of this composite shape, composite shapes कौन सी होती है बेटे? Where two or more than two figures are combined together. So this shape contains two figures. So area of triangle OAB plus area of semicircle. Okay. So this is the, if we add these two areas, so we will get the total area of this composite shape. So now let's find out area of triangle. Okay. So now we need to use the formulas. Okay. We know all the different formulas. So what is area of triangle? What is area of triangle? What is the formula?
1/2 BH.
1/2 BH. Okay. So now this is the 90 degree because we know that B and H should make 90 degree on each other. So I know B, like base is 3. Now what is height? It's not given, but can I calculate the height? What is this side?
Diameter.
It is basically, if
Diameter.
this is 2, so this is 2 is the radius of this semicircle. So what is this AB line? This is actually the diameter, right? So you can see the figure also. If the radius of this semicircle is 2, so definitely because AB line is a diameter, so this will be 4 meters. It's not given in the question, but we know this fact कि ये semicircle का diameter है. So it means that half into base is 3 and the height is 4. ठीक है? You can cancel this 2 with 4 and the answer is 6 meters square. Area of triangle is 6 meters square, right? So now I'm going to find out area of semicircle. So what would be area of semicircle? Area of circle is pi r square. Because it is a semicircle, so we will divide it with 2, right? So simply put the values pi into, so this time pi will also be placed because we cannot subtract it. अगर हम pi की value नहीं डालेंगे, ठीक है? We cannot add it actually. So we can say 3.14 multiplied with r square. So r square would be 2 square divided by 2. Okay. So this is 3.14 multiplied by 4 divided by 2. So you can just cancel this 2. So double of 3.14 is 6.28. So 6.28 meter square is the area of semicircle. Okay. So now how to find total area? So total area would be 6 plus 6.28. So how much is the total area? 12.28 meter square. Right? So beta, any question? 8 class, even if like if you cannot unmute your mic because of any reason, so you need to give me response so that I know that you can understand. Okay. So is this question clear? All right. So
Yes, ma'am.
all right, that's great. So now moving on to the B part. So today is the homework day of math also. So I will give you a worksheet containing different composite figures, and you need to find out the area of different shapes. Okay. So I'm going to draw the second shape. So the second part is like this. There is a semicircle, and this semicircle is having composite shape है. यहाँ पर दो और semicircles हैं like this, and this length is given to you. This total length is 18 centimeter. So now if I ask you, what is this 18 centimeter? 18 centimeter is what? 18
Diameter.
centimeter is basically diameter of this bigger circle. और ये भी आपको पता है कि this is same as this one. Okay, so the smaller semicircles, if we combine them together, so this is basically a complete circle. Okay, so if 18 centimeter is this whole, so इसका मतलब है कि the radius of this bigger circle is 9 centimeter, and the radius of the smaller circle is 3 centimeter. ये चीज clear हो रही है? 18 का half करें, diameter है ना 18, so the bigger circle is having radius 9 centimeter. So 9 centimeter is basically the diameter of the smaller circle. So what would be the radius of the smaller circle? No, it would
4.5.
be 4.5. 4.5. Okay, 4.5 is the radius of the smaller circle. So we are going to use these values in the question. Okay, so starting from the perimeter. So what will be the perimeter? Perimeter this time is basically the 3 curve. So what will be this bigger curve? What is the length of the bigger curve? So let me name it so that, so we can say A, B, C. Okay. So I'm saying A, B curve plus B, C curve plus A, C curve. Okay. ये तीनों add होंगे, the 3 curves. So then we will get the answer, right? So A, B curve or B, C curve same है. ठीक है, इनकी length same है because they are. So if we add them together, so basically this will make a whole circle. और circle का circumference is 2 pi r. ठीक है, of the smaller circle. I'm using S. ठीक है, AC is semicircle. So it is 2 pi r divided by 2. And this is the bigger circle. Because दोनों का radius different है ना. ठीक है, so now we can say 2 pi r की value क्या है for the smaller circle? It is 4.5, right? Plus this 2 is cancelled, so pi into r for the bigger circle is 9. तो 4.2 को डबल करें तो it is 4.5 को डबल करें तो it's 9 pi. This is also 9 pi. So the perimeter of this shape is 18 pi centimeter. Any question in this? Is it clear or not? Is it clear or not? All right. So you need to remember that although both are 2 pi r or ye bhi 2 pi r hai, but the circles are different. That's why I have used this S for the smaller circle and this B for the bigger circle. Smaller circle is having radius 4.5 and the bigger circle is having radius 9. Okay? So that's why this is like this. So now comes the area. Achha. Now the area of this composite shape is basically, अगर आप गौर करें तो these two circles, ये जो छोटे वाले दो semi circles हैं, if we combine them together, so this is area of small circle basically because this will be a full circle ना. Area of small circle plus area of bigger या large semi circle. ठीक है, so this is the total area. हमने इन दोनों areas को find करना है. and then we will put it in the formula. Okay. So first let's calculate area of the smaller circle. So area of the smaller circle would be, क्योंकि ये पूरा circle है ना, two semicircles को मिलाएं तो एक circle बन जाता है, और वो दोनों semicircles are also same. ठीक है. So area of smaller circle is pi r square. ठीक है. So pi will remain as it is. दोनों में pi आ रहा है, we will keep pi as it is. Pi multiply by radius is 4.5 square. ठीक है. So अगर आप 4.5 का square calculate करें, so 45 multiply by 45, so 25, 22. So 225, and the total answer is 574. So 2475. Where the decimal will go after two decimal places. 24.75 pi. ठीक है. And the unit would be centimeter square. ये आपका एरिया आता है स्मॉलर सर्कल का. ठीक है. Now area of the semicircle. Sorry. जी Arshman, you were saying something? Is there any like calculation error or something? जी बेटे. All right. So area of the semicircle is pi r square, because it is a semicircle, so we will divide by 2. ठीक है. So put the values, keep pi as it is. Pi, or the bigger circle is having radius 9. So 9 square divided by 2. So if you solve it, it is 81 by 2. 81 by 2 pi. So 81 ka half करें तो what is this? So it's 40.5 pi. Right? So area of the semicircle is 40.5 pi. So now what is the total area? Total area is 40.5 pi plus 24.75 pi. Right? So how much is the total? So 7 and 5 is 12. 5, 65.25 pi centimeter square. So, beta, any question in this? Anything you cannot understand?